Hey everyone, and welcome to another gtaonline video here on the channel. Today I want to talk about an exploit that can essentially put you in passive mode no matter what. You can put yourself in an unkillable state to other players. It works during free mode jobs, when you're in an organization or MC, and it's pretty broken the things that you can do with it. So we all know how passive mode works, right? You can only activate it outside of missions while you're not part of a CEO or MC, and it makes you immune to all damage from other players and puts you in an invisible state so they can't even make contact with you. And then you can deactivate it, but there's a short interval in between you deactivating it and you actually being out of passive mode in order to prevent passive popping. Or in other words, when someone will deactivate passive mode and then kill you right after they come out of passive mode really cheaply. Well, this new method allows you to essentially go into passive mode whenever you want. I like to call it credits passive. And the reason for that name is because of how it works. You pause your game and go to the online tab, and then down to the credits and legal tab, and then from there hit Y or triangle in PlayStation to show the credits. And when you are on this screen with all the credits showing, you are in passive mode to other players. They cannot kill you at all. Even if you're in a CEO when you normally wouldn't be able to do that, or even a weaponized vehicle, it doesn't matter. You will still be invisible to other players. Now, the one good thing about this is the person doing this also cannot move. They have to sit there and do nothing with the credit screen showing. So it's not like someone is going to be abusing this mid-combat in any way. However, there are a few case scenarios where this can be abused, which should warrant this getting fixed. The first case, let's say you're in a Titan 250D, right? And an Oppressor Mark II starts spamming missiles at you. Well, the pilot of the Titan can quickly go into the credits passive while he's flying, and all of the missiles will go right through the aircraft, and he can then continue flying on after the volley of rockets have passed and completely missed him. Now, in my opinion, fuck the Oppressor Mark II. This is actually a good thing for the bigger planes because otherwise they're even more useless than they already are. But considering the other two things that this exploit could be used for, it does need to be patched. The second thing this can be used for is taking standard grounds with nothing that anybody can do about it. If you just walk up and start capturing a standard ground, and then while in the zone you go into credits passive, the people defending the standard ground cannot damage you in any way. There is nothing you're going to be able to do to stop this from happening, and they can just capture the zone just like that. I actually did this myself once to a standard ground where the leader was in God mode, so rightfully deserved because fuck God mode players. But yeah, you obviously should not be able to do this, and I wonder if they could possibly patch this part of it at least, because when we tried to do the same thing with piracy prevention, the moment you go into credits passive there, it stops the capture progress like you're not even there. But for some reason it doesn't do that with the standard ground, it just continues progressing even though the guy is technically in passive mode. And now the third thing, and this is the main reason why I want to see this patched, to be honest with you. God mode players are using this to prevent them from being countered by tanks. So quick explanation if you don't know. If you start Headhunter, you can run over God mode players and park tanks on them to kick them out of God mode. It just respawns them. Well, what God mode players are doing now is when they get ran over, they will go and do the credits passive trick, and their character will then get up even though a tank is parked directly on them. The passive mode just lets them get up because you're invisible to them now. And then they're inside of your tank at that point, so they can just shoot and kill you from inside of your own tank. Not to mention, this also prevents the ragdoll spam to keep a God mode player user on the ground, because the moment they get trapped where they get ran over nonstop, they can just go into the pause menu, watch the credits, and get right back up to start firing missiles once again when they're out of the pause menu. Instead of what used to happen where we just get a group of people to run over the God mode players nonstop with like RC tanks or regular tanks, and then they just be stuck there forever or dead from being ran over during Headhunter. This gives them a get out of jail free card essentially on top of already being in fucking God mode. And it's just ridiculous. So hopefully this does get patched. It's been around since like the last update or potentially even longer than that. And I've seen the tactic be taken advantage of more and more by God mode players as time goes on. So if they're not going to patch these God mode glitches, if they're going to stay in the game forever, at least patch the one thing that is keeping us from properly killing these assholes with the tank method. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I just want to explain this whole situation with this exploit that is currently happening. Maybe you've seen it yourself if you fought against a God mode player and tried to take him out with the tank method. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like as well as subscribe to my channel for more gtaonline content. I also want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members for your support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.